Now at 11, devastation across Indiana.
This place has seen lots of storms over the years, but obviously nothing to this extent.
Multiple tornadoes touching down.
It's scary. It's very scary. Yes, because it's your home. It's very scary.
Tonight, neighbors in recovery mode.
It's just going to be a long process.
And showing the true meaning of Hoosier hospitality.
It's just great when people care and reach out to help you, and it's very much appreciated.
Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News. Good evening. The National Weather Service is now confirming 5 tornadoes hit central Indiana last night. Community members, first responders, and the Indiana National Guard all stepping up to help anywhere it's needed in this storm recovery process. And that need may only deepen. Thanks for joining us. I'm Felicia Lawrence in for Scott Swan. And now we look to the threat of flooding. Some parts of the state may have more than 6 inches of rain by the time the weekend is over. And our weather team has been so diligent in sharing all of this information, of course, working tirelessly to help Hoosiers stay informed and stay safe. And Angela, the weather, it just seems like it's not letting up this week.
It isn't. We go from tornadoes and damaging wind last night to that flooding threat that you pointed out. And as you mentioned, the National Weather Service now confirming 5 tornadoes across central Indiana. 2 happened in the western part of the state, 1 just north of Terre Haute, another one in the southwestern sections of Park County, also rated an EF1. It was an EF2 that hit Brownsburg, EF1 damage in Carmel. Additional surveys will happen across parts of Madison and Delaware counties in the days to come, and an EF0 just to the northeast of Bedford. Flooding threat is the main concern in the coming days. Flood watch continues for all of central Indiana for the potential of 2, 3, 4, 5 or more inches of rain. The heaviest rain tonight has been mainly south and east of Indianapolis, but additional showers continue to develop to our west. We'll keep some rain in the overnight forecast before a bit of a break early tomorrow, and then additional waves of rain and storms. The local timeline and additional severe threat in the forecast.
The community has wrapped their arms around Kids Planet for sure today. And we have felt the love, we have felt the support, and it has just meant the world to me personally.
When disasters happen, Hoosiers don't hesitate to help. And we're seeing countless examples of decency in the devastation. Devastation like this, the view from Drone Cam 13 over Delaware County. Homes in pieces, forcing people to find new places to stay. And a Red Cross shelter here is now open for those impacted by the severe weather. It's at Pittsboro United Methodist Church on Main Street in Pittsboro. That's in Hendricks County. Red Cross shelters are open 24 hours a day. No ID is required, but people are urged to bring personal items, including bedding, any extra clothing, any medication. And crews are working around the clock to restore power. Right now, AES reports more than 8,000 customers in the dark. Over at Duke, that number is around 2,000. And investigators say it was downed power lines that led to one storm-related death in Hendricks County. So we found crews repairing those lines in Danville this morning. We're told deputies found 27-year-old Nathan Merritt dead on the ground near a car last night. Investigators believe Merritt hit the lines, then came into contact with them when he was getting out of the car. Hendricks County was just one of the many places hit hard by the storms last night, and now neighbors in Brownsburg are cleaning up and assessing damage. Logan Gay spoke with one business owner about her plans for the future.
On an average day, employees here at Kids Planet would have spent the day welcoming children and their families for a day of fun. Now, after last night's tornado, they don't know when they'll be able to return to work, and they're just one of several businesses in the area facing the same issue. While many people spent the day cleaning up storm debris around their home, Brandy Pappas spent much of her time in tears and on the phone, making some tough phone calls.
We have so many birthday parties every weekend, and that too has been devastating to have to make those calls and cancel those parties for those little kids, and it's just been very sad.
Wednesday's tornado left as quickly as it came, but the damage it left behind, Brandy says, is something she'll never forget.
We were all hunkered down in the basement at our house.
After it passed, they thought they were in the clear. But then she started hearing about damage near her other home, the business which opened 8 years ago.
We saw that a warehouse close to us had collapsed, and when we saw that footage, we realized that we were close. And so we drove over here, and that's where we discovered that we had been hit. It was devastating for sure.
Brandy says the business, which is home to an inside playground and arcade, is a staple in the community for kids' birthday parties and family gatherings. She's loved every moment of it. Now the once welcoming place is boarded up and asking people to stay away.
I love everything. I love our staff. I love our community. I love being a part of Brownsburg. It's hit me to the core.
Brandy spent the day calling families to share the sad news that they won't be making new family memories there for a while. But even with this unforeseen setback, Brandy says they're not giving up. Once they work with the owner of the building and assess the damage, they plan to start a new adventure.
We'll come back bigger and stronger, hopefully.
In Brownsburg, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Thanks, Logan. And we also visited Hessian Farms in Hendricks County, and the family's been running that for decades. But now they're faced with rebuilding. The EF2 tornado taking down barns and scattering debris across the property.
There was two pickups out in that one that got destroyed, and there was a gazebo on the other side of the house. It's across the road now.
Matt Hessians tells us they'll replace the buildings and he'll always have his memories. He says that he's grateful for all the support. And then not far away from that, in Branches subdivision, just west of Eagle Creek, damage to roofs. Our crew estimated dozens of homes took a hit. And we talked to one resident who says she got to safety just in time, taking shelter in the bathroom.
It literally blew me up off the toilet, and the impact pushed me into the wall. And I just start screaming, Jesus, God, help us all, because I thought the world was ending. And my husband came down bleeding. He got a gash, and I was just so scared to death. I never felt nothing like this. It felt like a train or an earthquake.
That's scary. She says it took just seconds for the storm to blow the roof off her bedroom. And there are just so many emotions for our families in our state. Shock, gratitude, compassion, and resilience. Well, we talked with one farmer northwest of Muncie, and he tells us that he never expected weather like this. He says his son had farm equipment stored in a barn taken out by the storms. He was grateful that no one was hurt, though, and of course he was out there today with a front-end loader helping his son clear debris and start the restoration process. And while we can always expect to see the best in people after a night like the one we just had, it's always important to be cautious. So we were in Carmel today. That's where the National Weather Service confirmed an EF1 tornado touched down. Carmel Mayor Soon Finkum declared a state of local disaster emergency for the next 7 days. The storm sparked an emergency Carmel City Council meeting, and Carmel Dispatch got hundreds of calls showing the kind of need that's out there. But city leaders say if someone knocks on your door offering to help, make sure that person is legit. In Carmel, there's a permitting process and a background check that's required for people doing door-to-door sales. City leaders just want to make sure that people are working with reputable companies. And when major weather events hit Indiana, our meteorologists are on air and online on the case, making sure your family is safe. And you can monitor the storms right along with them on WTHR Plus on your TV. That's our free streaming app on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku. And here's a quick look at other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, a former IPS student accused of attacking a teacher at Washington High School has been ruled incompetent to stand trial. The teacher says the student, who was 19 at the time, hit him in the face and knocked him unconscious back in September of last year. The suspect faces a battery charge. He's now in a mental health facility for treatment, with his next court hearing scheduled for July. Tonight, a 17-year-old is under arrest accused of an armed robbery on the east side of Indianapolis. Police say after the arrest, they found this handgun equipped with a machine gun conversion device and a second handgun reportedly stolen from a woman at a gas station. Investigators say a woman told them she'd been robbed yesterday near Pendleton Pike and Shadeland Avenue. Police found the suspect a short time later. He's facing multiple preliminary charges. And tonight, one person is dead and another hurt after a house fire in Martinsville. It happened early this morning. We're working tonight to learn what caused the fire, but investigators say there's no indication it was connected to last night's storm. Now, a bill that would ban transgender women from taking part in women's college sports is headed to Governor Mike Braun. It just passed the Indiana Senate 42-6. The Indianapolis-based NCAA changed its policy earlier this year, limiting competition in women's sports to athletes assigned female at birth. The NCAA's move came after President Donald Trump signed an executive order intended to ban trans athletes from girls and women's sports. Remember, you can find all the latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.
The new severe threat is flooding. I'll have how much rain will fall and the latest timeline.
Temporary layoffs in Indiana tied to President Trump's tariffs on imported vehicles. We'll break down the numbers and when those employees could be back at work. Plus, we're hearing from the president on a tumbling stock market, falling to levels not seen since the COVID outbreak.
By giving these students an opportunity to be exposed to real-world trends and opportunities and get their hands dirty.
And we'll show you how a new program at Purdue could shape the future of the big sporting events our state is famous for. It's all next on 13 News at 11.